Hello and welcome to this quick tutorial where I'm going to show you how to create a state machine from an animation that you might already have. In order to add some interactions and make it more lively. So let's get started. I have here this little robot and you can see it's bouncing there. And what I want to happen is that when I click on it, it shows me kind of like the options that I can do with this robot, right? So when I click on this, boom, it shows me all the options and then goes back to the initial state. So that's what this animation is doing. Right. So in order to work on this, I need to go and open it in Lottie Creator. I have a copy right here that does not have that interaction already happening. So as you can see, I have my animation here fully happening. And if I run it, you will see that it goes through every state, right, that I have, every segment of this animation. And in order to make it react in different stages, I need to create segments saying, hey, this is going to be my idle state. This is going to be my state when it reacts. And this is going to be my state when it's closing. So in order to do so, I need to divide the animation into segments, and I can do that here. I go to the segments panel, and you can see I have already created it. And for this animation, I have my idle. So this is my idle state. It stays looping there. My react, that's when I click on it, right? And then it just it'll show me all the options. And then when I close it, after that is done, it closes automatically. So I have created these 3 segments, and now I need to make them into states. So I'm going to go here to state machines here at the top. And with that, I have all my segments here. So I will start with idle, and that becomes the initial state. I will drag also react, and I will drag close. So now in my work area, I have all the states that I need to work in. And quick explanation here, in order to move from one to the other, imagine that you're ordering a pizza, right? So you're giving the waiter an input saying, hey, I want this particular type of pizza. The waiter will grab your order, take it to the chef. The chef will then start making the pizza. And once the pizza is done, it will fire another event saying the pizza is done, and they will bring it to you. We want kind of the same thing happening here. So I'm going to create a series of events that are going to help me move from one state to another. So in order to create these connections, I need to just connect idle goes to react. Once the react is done, we'll go to close. And once close is done, I need it to go back to idle. But what fires these things, right? So my order when I order the pizza. So for that, I need to have inputs. And these inputs are going to be events that I'm going to fire. So you go here, you create a new input, and you mark it as an event. And this is going to be my react event. I'm going to create one for every state that I got here. One for idle. Oops. One for idle. And one event for close. Right? So all these 3 events are here, basically listening or waiting to be triggered in order to move from one state to another. And I do that by selecting those here. So what's the condition that moves me from idle to react? I'm going to say, hey, whenever react happens. Right? What moves me from react to close? Well, whenever close happens. And what moves me from close to idle? Well, whenever idle happens. Cool. Then we need the input, right? You are telling the waiter what's your order. So for that, we need to have an interaction. That interaction, I can go here to the interaction tab and create a new interaction and say, hey, when I click on this, on the main scene, you can select any layer, but I'm going to select the main scene, so it clicks anywhere. What's the action? Well, I want to fire the react event in this case. So I want to fire an event. And what event? I'm going to say the react event. So now when I'm going from idle and I click, fires the react event, and therefore I move here. Now I need to make sure that after this is done, so on complete actions, I'm going to fire the close event. And finally, when close is done on complete actions, I need to fire the idle, so to go back to idle. One extra detail, I want to stay on the idle until I actually tap. So I want to be this looping and repeating every time. So when I click on this, I can select here on the loop and make it infinite. So it stays looping there until I tap on this. So let's try this. If I click on it, you can see I'm looping there on idle until I click. When I move to react, and then goes to close and back to idle. And that's how we can simply create a state machine. All right, now let me show you something really, really cool. bear with me here. So I have now deleted everything. I don't have any state machines happening, no interactions, no inputs, nothing. And what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to ask the AI to do all that for me. So in order to do so, I just go here and I just tap on the AI button, and it says, and you get the assistant there. The AI assistant will give you kind of like sample prompts, but I have one already created for this. So what I'm asking is to make a state machine that has 3 states: idle, react, and close. Idle should keep looping until a click happens, and then it should move to react. Once react is done, it should move to close, and then once close is done, it should go back to idle. And then let's see what happens, right? I just send that prompt to the AI. We'll wait a little bit. We'll see, when the magic happens. And once it's done processing, hopefully it will create everything for us. So there you go. The state machine has been updated. It's now making a summary of everything that it has done. But you can already see here, right, everything. So let's take a look at that summary, right? And it says, I created your state machine with the flow that you requested. It created every state, every flow, and every interaction. So let's take a look at what has happened. I can see I have my initial state idle here. I have react, I have close. It also created some inputs for me: the click event, the react complete event, and the close complete, and then the interaction, right? So let's try it out, see what happens. So when I start, it starts looping on idle, just as expected. When I click on it, it goes to react, magical, and then goes to close and back to idle. And that's how easy it can get, right, by using AI to create state machines. And with that, we have concluded our tutorial for state machines today. I hope you have learned something useful. Thanks.